Today we're heading to Ulverstone with Henry Terry, a neuroscientist and science educator, Leela Lendowski, as they explore this beautiful coastal town. Doing a little fishing at Fromberg's Dam, a stocked fishing hole where young anglers try their luck and get into fishing. In preparation for that fishing adventure, I'm going to show you a pretty simple take on a Japanese favourite. Edamame, which are these little sort of broad beany things. You can get them all year round now. If you can't find fresh ones, you can get them frozen. I'm going to show you, most people will have seen salmon or fish that's been crusted in sesame seeds. I'm going to show you how you can do that. It's not as complicated as it seems. So I've got some sesame seeds. You can get white or black ones. Put them in a bowl of some description. I don't need all of this fish, so I'm going to cut this in half. This is the top portion or top barrel or cannon. When it's this big, we call it a cannon. The top portion of a beautiful piece of Huon salmon. So Huon aquaculture down south, a place that I've been to many, many, many times and a place that I absolutely love. Take that. Now the natural sort of stickiness of the salmon is going to do all the work for you. Now you can put this straight into a fry pan and toast the salmon and the sesame seeds will go nice and golden. Before I get to that though, I'm going to make a little salad to go with it. So whenever you're doing something like this is you could use this recipe, but really you can create any sort of salad that you want to go along with this. Wasabi and salmon is a great combination. It's a combination that everyone knows, most people have had. But if you don't like wasabi, which some people don't, then just don't add wasabi to this dish. Or you can, wasabi and Japanese mayonnaise, so Kewpie mayonnaise, are really, really good because the Kewpie mayonnaise, the fatness in the Kewpie mayonnaise takes away that really astringent or harsh taste of the wasabi, so that's a good way of going about it. So in a bowl to mix everything in. Your edamame can just go straight in, so your little Japanese broad beans can go straight in. And they're really what the dish is about. So these sweet, they've got that beautiful chlorophyll green flavour to them. It's really, really hard to explain. They're just a beautiful sweet bean. Then I've got some cabbage, some white cabbage, and I'm going to use a speed peeler to peel a cucumber. And then just pop those little slivers of cucumber straight in the bowl. Now, when you get down to the seeds, turn it around and keep going. You don't want the seeds in there. The seeds are quite watery and it's going to water down your salad and it'll go all mushy. All right. So far I've got my little beans and my cucumber in there. Everything's nice and green. Going to a little bit of cabbage. Just going to slice this really thinly. You could use Savoy cabbage if you wanted to. Not a lot, that's all I need. Put that in. Now this is, my dressing's a really, really simple dressing. Lime, juice, olive oil, salt, and then the wasabi. So I'm making a wasabi dressing. And this is where you would, if you wanted to still have wasabi, but you didn't want it to be that strong in the flavour, don't use the lime juice, don't use the oil. Make your mayonnaise with the wasabi and the Kewpie. Add a little bit of lime juice if you wanted to. Again, that would soften the flavour of the wasabi. Half a lime. A little bit of olive oil. A good pinch of salt. And a small amount of wasabi. Remember, you can always add more, you can't take it away. So I'm going to start with that much. Mix all that around. It's very, very hard to take wasabi away once you've added it. So it's a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. You can get really good wasabi powder now, which is just fresh wasabi that's been dried and then ground up. And it actually, that would be better for this because of the way it's going to mix through your dressing. So I just want to try that and make sure I've got the wasabi flavour that I'm after. Yep, I have. A bunch of coriander. Pop that in. Don't stir that yet. Just want to let that sit. So that's my little salad done. So I'll grab a pan, a really well seasoned pan. Don't wait for it to get hot. Put it in straight away. And that's gently going to toast those sesame seeds while we cook our salmon through. So a piece of salmon this size, you're looking at probably 4 to 5 minutes to cook through. Remember, salmon should be like a good piece of steak. It should be medium rare. You just want to set the inside. You don't want to overcook it. It is also very, very forgiving. So if you do cook it a little bit longer, you're probably going to be okay with a piece of salmon because it has those nice layers of fat in between the protein. It's probably one of the more forgiving pieces of fish. So that'll take, because we started from cold, probably 5 minutes. We're going to do 3 minutes one side, 2 minutes the other. So that's pretty much done. I'll take that off in 30 seconds and let it rest. My salad's done as well. Now that I'm close to serving, I can stir in my coriander. Let that become part of the salad. This is one of those dishes that would go really well. You could have this with something like a beer. Because of the wasabi in it, you could get away with a beer or even just a nice glass of crisp white wine. So it's great for summer. A big mound of our salad. And you can see the colour that we've got on those sesame seeds, so they're nicely toasted. Just season that while it's in there. Can come out. You've still got that, talking about medium rare, but this is still nice and pink, blushing. We've just set the proteins on the inside. I'm happy with that. A little bit of olive oil to finish off. There we go. A really simple but really beautiful piece of sesame crusted or sesame encased salmon. And like I said before, you can have black sesame seeds, which gives it a really, really cool finish if you've got black sesame seeds on top. Right, so we'll head off now, catch up with Henry and Leela as they go fishing in Ulverstone.
Pleasure to meet you.
Hi, how are you doing?
How are you going? I'm Henry.
Good.
Nice to meet you. Well, we would love to catch a fish. We come to the right place?
You have, and hopefully you'll get one on.
Okay.
Early in the morning's good, but when the weather's a bit like this, you should still get them.
Right, the wind makes it better.
Yeah. You go and see if you can catch yourself a beauty.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Let's go get some dinner.
We'll need to get a rod.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
When did you start fishing?
I was just a little boy. In the Terry family, basically it's a rite of passage. So as a kid, you learn to tie your own flies. And I remember my grandfather used to have a tackle box engraved, specially engraved for when you caught your first fish on your own fly that you tied yourself. So yeah, fishing for me, it's been a big part of my life since I was a little boy.
I've got a fish.
Well done.
It's only tiny.
Oh, dinner. Well done. Well, what a cracking start to the day.
Yeah, got a snack.
We're not going hungry. We're not going hungry tonight. That's dinner sorted. Ripper.
I think we might go a little bit hungry.
I'll see what I can do to make it, space it out as much as we can.
Sounds great.
All right.
It's time for Henry and Leela to relax, cook up their catch on the Ozpig and wrap up their adventure at Hiscott Park. Located in the seaside town of Penguin, Hiscott Park is a popular picnic spot, known for its scenic location by the river, Dutch windmill and friendly ducks.
We're here. Well, let's get started. I've got a few jobs for you, if that's all right.
Sounds good.
I would like you to smash up a bit of star anise.
All right. How finely smashed do you want your star anise?
I'll let you judge. Just feel it out.
All right.
If you can get started on that, I'm going to chop some herbs and chop some lemon. So this is a really, really simple dish. We'll have this on the Ozpig in no time.
Great.
So what we're going for here is just a really fresh herby flavour to go with that nice fresh rainbow trout. So thyme, dill, parsley, lemon, just a beautiful combination. And the aniseedy flavour at the end is sort of, I don't know how to describe it.
It's going to be a bit like a party in our mouths.
Absolutely. Could you please really stuff this fish full of these beautiful fresh herbs? So a bit of garlic to go in as well. Roughly chopped. Don't need to overcomplicate it too much. Just add a bit more flavour to that fish. Beautiful. So,
Just as is?
yep,
Yep.
straight in. We're going to really pack it out. It's only a small little fish, isn't it?
It is going to be so good.
Beautiful. Okay. We still need to fit a bit of lemon in. Place those in there. So that's the stuffing done. All we need to do, what I like to do, is score the meat of the trout, just a little bit. And this is where the star anise comes in. Get a bit of that dust, give it a sprinkle, and then if we can get a bit of that dust in between the those cuts, really just, it's subtle.
Wow, that's such a good idea. I've never seen that done before.
Okay, the only thing left to do is a bit of a marinade. So again, we want to get that herb flavour through the fish. So we're going to attack it from the outside as well as the inside. I've got some olive oil, so a bit of dill and some lemon juice.
This is a pretty beautiful park.
That's amazing.
Oh, ducks everywhere.
Plenty of wildlife. I think I saw some baby ducks with its mother before following it along. Okay, herb mayo done. Fish ready to go. This should be full of flavour, so let's get it on the Ozpig.
Fantastic. Can't wait to try it.
So Leela, 5 minutes either side, should be cooked and ready to go.
Fantastic.
Get a bit of that charcoal flavour through it. Ooh, I'm excited.
Can't wait.
Well, what a good spot to finish off the day.
Yep, good as any.
Beautiful. We better dig in while it's hot, and hopefully I've done justice to your catch.
We're about to find out.
Now, in my opinion, that's probably the best way to cook a piece of fish. Directly over the charcoal or over the coals, you get the flavour from the smoke itself, so you get a nice sort of smoky flavour, and it just stays more moist. But if you can't cook over coals, all you got is an oven. I'm going to show you how you can roast a whole side of salmon with a nice little glazing sauce to go on top of it. So here's our side of salmon. It's a beautiful piece from Huon Aquaculture. So we're gonna roast the whole thing. So this is something that you would do on a Friday night if you had a group of friends coming around. It takes all the stress out of cooking the protein, then you can just have a mixture of salads that go with it. So our basting ingredients, I've got some palm sugar, a small piece of palm sugar. This is probably 10 grams. And you're going for all the things that you sort of try and get in a good flavor or well-flavored dish. So salt, sour, sweet. So that's going to give us some of the sweet component. Some of the savoury component coming from coriander seed. Pop that in. Another savoury component. This is the tops of some spring onions. I'm just going to roughly chop these and then bruise them. Just squash them with your knife. Let out some of the oils. Put that in. Then we've got a clove of garlic. Now remember, you don't have to worry too much about how this is chopped because it's going to be a basting sauce. So the big chunks of garlic and the spring onion are really just there for flavour. Not going to actually be cooked. Ketchup manis, which is this. So it's a sweet Indonesian soy, so it's going to give us some salt and some sweet at the same time. And then the juice of a lime. And then a big pinch of salt. And the salt is going to extract all of the moisture out of the garlic and out of the spring onion and give us more of a basting sauce to be able to put on our salmon. So the salt's really important. So a big pinch of salt. It's also going to be the seasoning for the fish itself. And a little drizzle of oil. Our oven's ready to go, so that's set at 180. Mix all this together, and I'm just going to leave it for 10 minutes for the salt to do its thing with the garlic and with the spring onions. I'm going to leave that be for 5 or 10 minutes, and then we're just going to paint that sauce all over our piece of salmon. Just baste that, give it one coating now, and then we're probably going to do it 2 more times at different intervals once it's in the oven. So once you've got a good coverage, pop that into the oven, 180 degrees. It's going to take about anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes. So at about the 10-minute mark and then at the 20-minute mark, I'm going to take it out, give it a baste with the remainder of this marinade. All right, that's been about 25 minutes. And to check, just get something you can poke in. And 46 degrees is kind of the temperature you want the inside to be. So if it's warm to your lip, then you're pretty much done. So that is our whole, I'll just give it one more baste. A whole side of salmon that we've roasted. I would just take it to the table in this big roasting tray and people can just sort of take their portion off whichever way they want. If you wanted to dress it up a little bit, I've just got some micro herbs. So you can place some micro herbs over the top just to dress it up a bit. But it's a gorgeous piece of salmon, so there's not a lot that you really need to do to it. It saves you so much stress in worrying about having to cook protein for a big number of people. Just throw that whole side of salmon into the oven with a nice little marinade or baste. It comes out perfectly after about 25 minutes. Again, salmon is really forgiving, so if you do go a little bit too long, it won't dry out too much. It's a great recipe for having friends over.